Hello everyone. So today I thought I'll probably show you. In fact, someone was asking me this question, and I thought, okay, I can make a video on this particular topic. So I have this site called ravisagar.com. In fact, this domain which I was able to acquire, I think 2 years ago, and this domain was actually not really available for a long time. It was basically being sold for $2,500, and that was of course a lot of money. But when I noticed that this domain is available, or it was available 2 years ago, I guess I quickly purchased it, and I already have a web. In fact, I think there was a time when I had 70 something domains, but even right now I have few domains, and my main website is ravisagar.in, which has been very old. Talking purely in terms of content, like, because I have been using this site for sharing things that I do, and this site is basically the site where I dump everything, right? All my videos and blogs, whatever I'm sharing, it goes here. Now, this is of course a Drupal site. Drupal site is of course not massively easy to maintain, but I also was interested in making a simple site. Of course, I have one more site called ravi.pro, which is something that I publish, maintain using nothing but org mode. So this is a static site, but it is of course managed using, or basically published, maintained using nothing but org mode, which is wonderful, right? Now the thing is that I also want to I also wanted to create a site that will be nothing but simple HTML. That is it. A bit of CSS, couple of JavaScript files. That is it. Nothing else. So this is the site. I've shared this before, but today I'll probably show you the files, like how it is organized, and a couple of JavaScripts that I use. Now, on this particular site, if I probably just expand it a bit more, so we have this, of course, navigation bar on top. And it will of course expand, it will show things. And by the way, I tried to create this site, which is a bit, of course I don't really want too much CSS or JavaScript, but I wanted to create this site a bit more like this, ravisagar.in. And I think I spent like maybe few hours creating this when I did 2 years ago, I guess. But there are a few things that are actually coming. Of course, on top, I have my beautiful face, my, whatever I'm trying to write here, like summary of who I am. But this particular portion here is basically what is actually coming from my main site, my ravisagar.in site. So if you look here, I have, of course, this video, which is my latest video, along with this particular post, which is my check-in. I wanted to basically display it here, and I'm displaying it here using a JavaScript, which is basically looking at my feed, my XML feed. Let me show you the JavaScript first, which is something that I didn't write. I copied it from Stack Overflow, but I guess that is why we have Stack Overflow, right? So let me first start by showing you the index. So index is of course nothing but a simple HTML. Of course, it has some format because I am trying to follow the the layout that you can set very easily. If you open the same file in code, Visual Studio Code, it will of course give you the option to collapse your HTML elements. But this is my main file, and this is it. This is the only like, I think on this particular website I do have like this menu or this navigation items on top, but these are nothing but links to separate these are basically links to my YouTube channel or my LinkedIn or my Twitter or my ravisagar.in website. Now if I show you the let us talk about the files. The first one is basically drop-down menu.js. It is basically adding or changing. I think it is basically adding the adding one additional class when we are in a responsive format. For example, it will hide this menu, and it will make it vertical. And this is what this JS is doing. That is it. Now, if I show you the file, the style.css file, of course on this it's a simple file, right? Nothing much happening apart from adding the background color and making sure most of the CSS here is basically for the navigation bar, and based on the additional class that is being added, it will of course do few things. I'm not really going to cover these things, but it is basically the media queries. If you're trying to learn CSS, I think creating a simple site yourself is the way. I could have used something like Bootstrap that will keep everything simple. But when you build something yourself, your own website, using nothing but pure HTML, CSS, then you will really enjoy it, and you'll feel good. I mean, do it yourself. It's a very good feeling. And there's also one more JS JavaScript, which is basically picking up the items from my main website. So if I show you the XML file for my homepage feed, this HTML is of course it has a format because it is XML, not HTML, XML. And I'm basically using this script here, which is going to pick up the first two items from the XML, and it will pass the XML file, and it will basically pick up the title and also the teaser. In Drupal there is something called as teaser, like the summary, and if there is some image, it will also display the image. And great, right? This is wonderful. So basically, whenever you open the site, it will always display something a bit. It is of course not really dynamic site, but it is in a way a bit dynamic because it is going to generate the HTML based on any recent content that I add on my other site, my main site. And this is it really. Nothing else. Of course, I do have a couple of other things. Here I also have like package.json, which is basically, don't worry about it. It's not really required. Maybe it is required because I don't really think it is required. But basically the main thing here is that because this site is hosted on no, I don't really think the package is required because I was playing with Node.js once, so it is not really required. So basically, if you want to publish it for free or host it for free, you can do that on GitLab. GitLab will give you the option to publish a static site with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So you need to have this particular file .gitlab-ci.yml, and whenever I publish or whenever I commit the code to this repository, so of course this is like a repository on my on my GitHub, or not GitHub, GitLab repositories. It will run the CI pipeline, and it will pick up those changes, and it will publish it to a public folder, which is of course on GitLab. So this site, ravisagar.com, is of course a simple site. And if you want to have, of course it's a very simple site, but it need not to be that simple. You can of course use modern CSS and make it professional, good looking, but I like that. I think it is professional. You don't need to have there's no definition of professional website as long as this thing is readable. And if you make a simple site, to be honest, if you have a very simple site, it will always be accessible and responsive. Let me try to find something. I think I might have one really simple. No, not anymore. It used to be. So if you want to have a very simple site, nothing but create just a text file, right? That would be the ultimate minimalistic site. Of course, on this particular site, I wanted to have some dynamic behavior. Basically, I just wanted to display something from my other site. But just create a simple site yourself. And even if you know absolutely zero HTML, just create a text file. Even a simple text file would be fine. But the point is that you should have something of your own, like your own domain, and maybe start playing with it. When you have one domain, you can actually create subdomains and experiment with it. Maybe create different pages. But I think we all should try to create a site. I think it's a basic skill these days. Even if you're not from technical background or you don't really have any IT education, you should still be able to, and you should definitely try to do it yourself. I mean, you could be, let us say, a business owner, or I mean, let me be more specific. For example, I was talking to so recently I got my car not serviced, but I got my car's oil filter and oil changed, and I also got my car's air condition gas refilled, right? So air con regas, I think it's something like that. So I basically booked this online, not online, but I basically called a local car mechanic. They came to my house. They did everything on the car. Within 10 minutes, they were done. And I told them, you don't really have a website. And they told me, yeah, we don't need it. But they need it, right? I mean, we all need a website. If you have a business, let us say if you are a car mechanic, and you have a website like this, just mention, okay, what you do, what services you have, and the price. That is all you need to do, and you can do it yourself. And these days, of course, we have these online site builders. I don't really see, I mean, I'm not really saying they're bad, but in most cases, I think majority of us just need a simple online presence. It could be a simple HTML site or a text. I mean, don't create a text file, just add some images, but do it yourself. It's super easy. You just need to, you will save a lot of money, unless you want to pay someone like me to build it for you. I mean, why not? But if you have a simple business and you need to list your services, your products, of course there's some limit of what you can do with the website. But the example that I'm giving you, car mechanic, if he can just mention okay, we do these things. Okay, we do car MOT. In case you're not from UK, car MOT is something that you have to do every year to make sure that your car is safe to drive, which is fine, I guess. It has to be done. I think it's a good thing. So usually these car, not mechanics, but these garages or these authorized MOT providers, they charge like 30 something pounds. But apart from this, you need to have maybe regular car service that you need to done, change few things, maybe change the battery, whatever. So if you list these things somewhere, it can be wonderful, right? Because I can just take a look at their prices. I can then call them, and I don't really need to rely on other platforms, because we do have other platforms where they let you advertise or create your listing, and they charge their commission, which I guess is fine. It's a good thing. It's like a directory, but you can have your own website. If you're a local business, have your own website, maybe promote it on Facebook. Google will anyways pick it up for you, but also have like a Google map listing so people can find you. Usually when I'm trying to find something on Google Maps, I look at, of course, what they do, where they are. But if they have a website, I want to click on the website, right? That is the first thing that anyone would do. All right, enough of me talking today. All right, I'll let you go. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something today, and hopefully I've given you some ideas. Bye bye.